I had every intention of taking the train over to Saarbrücken today. However, when I woke up, the sun was shining, the temperature was 75 degrees, it was one of the last beautiful days of the summer. I decided to do the most German of German things. Wanderung in den Wald, which means take a hike in the woods. My landlord suggested I take the Seilbahn up the hill to the graveyard in the woods. The Seilbahn is a funicular that was built in 1929 and is still in use today. And once the Seilbahn reaches the top of the hill, it drops you off. And there you are. There's just a few paths into the woods, no signage, and very few people. It felt very Hansel and Gretel. I wanted some breadcrumbs to drop. The paths just kept going, deeper and deeper and deeper into the woods. I felt a part of nature. But then, to my surprise, I came across the first grave. Yes, this is a cemetery in the woods. Rather than being a big field like most cemeteries are, with graves packed in next to each other, this cemetery is in the woods with the graves scattered throughout the paths throughout the woods. It's extremely serene, it's extremely peaceful, and it's very personal. There are hundreds and hundreds of graves up here, some old, some new, some well attended to. It felt very tranquil and a little spooky all at the same time. There were very few people up here. I don't think I'd want to be up here after dark. And then the weirdest thing of all, a taxi call box in the middle of the woods. How would a taxi get up here? And how did they pick you up in the middle of the woods? Then the spookiest of all were some old abandoned houses that were just sitting there. I didn't want to go in and explore them. I wonder who lived up here at the cemetery in the woods. I probably understand why they moved. I then walked through a beautiful apple orchard with apples ready to be picked and sheep lying in the shade. And then bang, right in the middle of the woods is a huge modern nursery with a florist shop full of florals, full of colors, full of plants. I guess the flowers are for the graves, although there were no customers in here, and the lady behind the counter sure didn't want to talk to me. I had dozens of questions for her, but she didn't want to answer any of them. I will say this was one of the most colorful, pretty nurseries that I've seen in a long time. Did the woman hike through the woods to get here every day, or did she live up here? Boy, I had a lot of questions, but I looked around, enjoyed the flowers. I wasn't getting any answers. And then I continued a little further down the path, and what did I come to? A beer garden. Of course, Germany in the woods has a beer garden. It was the most people I had seen all day. It had a full menu with everything from Sauerbraten to currywurst to Wiener Schnitzel. It had a full selection of beers. The tables next to me were people all dressed in black. I tried to talk to them and asked them where they were from. They told me they were teachers at the school. I quickly realized that they were mostly priests and nuns. They too were not interested in talking to me. The husband and wife who ran the beer garden also weren't interested in talking to anybody. They wanted to give me my food order and that's it. I ate my delicious salad and drank my cold beer and started back the path back to the funicular. I headed back down the same way I came up. I had more questions than I had answers. What a fun day.